we know, today is April 20th. So April 20th is the 6th of 24 solar terms in the traditional lunar calendar. So which is also called Gu Yu. The meaning is rain of millet. So here, rain of millet, or here millet refers to the grain or the word here. So in 2010, the United Nations selected Gu Yu, rain of millet, for Chinese Language Day to pay tribute to Cangjie. So here you can see the picture here and the Cangjie. Okay, so Cangjie is a very famous figure in China. He was claimed to be the inventor of Chinese characters or ancestor of Chinese characters. So legend has it that when he invented the characters, the deities and the ghosts cried and the sky rained millet. So from then on, Chinese people celebrate the day Gu Yu in honor of Cangjie. So that's why we have this International Chinese Language Day today. Now here we have some pictures, and these are the pictures taken in 2021, that's last year. Yeah, on April 20th last year, there was the ritual ceremony. So this sacrificial ritual ceremony or ritual held in Luonan in Shanghai province. And this ritual was held to worship Cangjie. As we mentioned, he was the ancestor of Chinese character. So you can see how people celebrate it, or how people pay tribute to Cangjie. Now, as Cangjie was the inventor of Chinese characters, so Chinese characters known as Hanzi, we also say Hanzi. So this is character Han. So Chinese characters are one of the earliest forms of written language in the world, dating back to approximately 5,000 years. Now, there are about 47,135 Chinese characters in Kangxi Dictionary, which was the standard national dictionary developed during the 18th and the 19th century. But studies have shown that 90% of the Chinese newspapers and the magazines tend to use only 3,500 basic Chinese characters. So although the dictionary has so many characters, we only use about 3,500 basic characters to be able to communicate in our daily life. Now we'll talk about the evolution of Chinese characters. So how these Chinese words developed, evolved. Now Chinese character has evolved over several thousand of years to include many different styles or scripts. And the main forms are, here you can see, oracle bones. Yeah, oracle bones, or in Chinese we call it jiaguwen, or bronze inscriptions. In Chinese we call it jingwen, and the small seal characters, xiaozhuan, and official script, li shu, and regular script, kai shu, and cursive writing, or grass stroke characters. And we also have freehand cursive writing. So take the word fish, for example. Here you can see this is the earliest character written in or inscribed in oracle bone. And so that is called oracle bone inscription. And then we can see the original one was, well, actually an imitation of the actual fish. And then in bronze inscription, it has some, it changed a little bit, but still we can see the original image of fish that's in bronze inscription. And then in small seal characters, yeah, it changed a little bit. And then we come to official script, because these words are too complicated to write. So it changed it into this way, much simple. And then regular script. And this is how we write today in our textbook, in our daily life. We use this fish, that's simplified Chinese character. So these these are also commonly used, while these are no longer used. Yeah, but we can see how these words evolved. So Chinese characters actually recorded Chinese history, society, and folk customs, and are the living fossils of Chinese civilization. So at the same time, Chinese characters also reflect the thinking, cognition, and the value orientation of the Chinese people. So they are not only the carrier of Chinese traditional culture, but also an important component of Chinese traditional culture. So today we will explore the life course of Chinese people reflected in Chinese characters. Now let's start from the very beginning. Traditionally, Chinese people use nominal age or virtual age, in Chinese 虚岁, to make the year. So the baby is 1 year old at birth and becomes 2 at the beginning of the very next year. So this is a very different calculation of the starting point of life from what we call the actual age, 周岁. So modern people use birth as the starting point, which we called actual age, 周岁, while ancient people calculate life from pregnancy. Because when a person is born, he has existed in the mother's body for 10 months. So the nominal age, or we call that 虚岁, reflects the Chinese people's respect for life. That is, life begins from the beginning of the formation of fertilized ovum. Therefore, once a child is born, he's recorded as 1 year old. So here, when the baby was born, he was 1 year old already. And then if he was born in, let's say in October, he was 1 year old. And then the new year comes in January, Chinese New Year, maybe Chinese New Year usually falls on January or February. And then only several months, he is regarded as 2 years old. So that's their virtual age. Now, here the character Tai. Tai is a very important sound symbol in Chinese characters. A lot of words formed with the word Tai. Now, the original meaning of Tai is that fetus has been formed. So let's see here on the right. You can see this is in the bronze inscription. This is the character of Tai. Here you can see this looks like a fetus. Yeah, and then it changed gradually into here, Tai, that is the regular script we used today. And also here, official script also used today. So, but the original one, the very original character, yeah, is like this, like a fetus, and then a mouth. So, a very important word formed from this Tai is 始, meaning beginning. So the word 始 here is interpreted by Xu Sheng, who is a philologist of the Eastern Han Dynasty. So he said that the word 始 means the beginning of a woman. So here you can see on the, here, now this is the word we used today. On the left side is a character female. This is the very early one in bronze inscription. Here on the right part is a woman, and on the left part is Tai. So you can see the fetus and the mouth. So here Xu Zhen explained or interpreted the meaning of Tai as the beginning of a woman. So the so-called beginning of a woman actually refers to the success of a woman's conception. Well, this is the real beginning of a woman in the sense of life. So you can see here is the fetus and the mouth, that's a Tai. And on the right side is female, and then it changes. In the small seal script, the female is on the left side and Tai is on the right side. And this is the word we used today. Yeah, regular script and yeah, modern used word Tai. Now, if the fertilized egg or ovum has gone through the test of first 3 months, and then the fetus, which is Tai, yeah, which is Tai, not different from the word Tai at the in the last slide. So here the Tai fetus is formed. So the left part of Tai indicate flesh or meat. So here is the word Tai. You can see the left part is flesh or meat. So this is the original character in oracle bone inscription. That's meat. A block, yes, that's a meat. And then it changed in bronze inscription. It's like this, the shape of meat. And now here is the meat we used regularly now. Yeah, that's meat. So as a particle here, Tai, the left side is the meat and the right side is Tai. Yeah, now this is the word we used today, Tai. So here Tai means fetus. Yeah, fetus. So traditional Chinese medicine believes that conception for 1 month forms Pei, that's embryo. Yeah, this is a Pei. And the Tai, that's after 3 months of pregnancy. So Pei is much younger, only 1 month, that's embryo. And then Tai, that's 3 months of pregnancy or 3 months of the little baby. Yeah, so you can still see in Pei, the left side is meat. Yeah. So when the fertilized ovum has experienced the test of 3 months and successfully developed into a fetus, life has smoothly entered into another important stage, that is Si. So this word is pronounced as Si. So here's the word Si. Yeah, so the oracle bone inscription of the word Si is very much like a child here. Yeah, in the uterus. So you can see here is the head, the arm, the leg. So the original meaning of the word Si is fetus. So we have just mentioned that 1 month is called the Pei and 3 months is called the Tai. Yeah, and they are actually all can be said fetus. And then for Si, it's much bigger than 3 months little baby. So it may also, so here, the original meaning of Si means fetus. So it can also used to mean offering a sacrifice for getting a son. So the extended meaning of Si is heirs or offspring. So that's the word of Si. Original meaning is fetus. Now it can be extended to mean heirs, offspring. So later, we use this word to refer to all kinds of sacrifices. That's 祭祀, or written as Si. Yeah, on the left side, we use this word to indicate sacrifice. So when the fertilized egg developed smoothly and it becomes Si, it will be shown in the body of the mother, which is 包. So you can see the shape of the word 包 is 四, this is 四 in the body of a person, and this is a person, and this is a person here in small seal script, a person. So 四 is a fetus in a person's body or wrapped in the body. So thus the extended meaning of a 包 means wrap as a verb or bag as a noun. So structurally, this shape of the word is like a baby unformed. And it also implies that the mother has successfully conceived and begins to show her pregnancy. Yeah, that in Chinese, that's 显怀. So that's about 3.5 months or 4 months or 14 to 16 weeks. So here you can see the word 包, how it evolved from oracle bone script to what we used today, 包. Yeah, so a person, unformed baby, wrapped it in the body. Yeah, that's 四 in it, and then 包. So then we come to the word pregnancy, in Chinese 孕. So the word 孕 is formed with a word 子, here baby. So that's the baby 子. So it is completely different from the word 包 we have just mentioned. The 包 is formed with 四. So here is 四, which means baby unformed. While 孕, you can see here the baby has developed a little more. So that's 子, that is baby. So in the oracle bone inscription, the outside of 孕resembles the shape of a mother's belly. So here, let's see the word. Yeah, the oracle bone, it can be, it is like this shape, or we can see more clearly a shape of a person, a belly, and the baby is in it. So therefore, the word pregnancy or 孕 indicates that the gestation and development of new life has entered a new stage. So from the original meaning of having a baby in the body, 孕 has the extended meaning of contain. So the extended meaning of 孕 is contain. And it also refers to the growth of new things from what is existing. Or another meaning is giving birth to. So we have the word 孕, that means breed something or giving birth to something. So this is how the word evolved from the very early state, from very early inscription. Yeah, that's oracle bone inscription. And to today's writing here, baby 子, and then there refers to a person or the mother's belly. Now, when a person begins to show her pregnancy, so you can see she has shown her pregnancy, we can say that she has a body. In Chinese, 有身子, which means she is pregnant. So the word here, 身, in oracle bone inscription is the appearance of a person's belly getting bigger. Now, here is the word 身, has a belly getting bigger. And this is in bronze inscription. And also you can see, the bigger belly here. Now, so the original meaning of this 身 is pregnant, conceiving a baby. So today we still hear people in their dialects saying that pregnancy is used, so when we want to express somebody is pregnant, we say somebody has a body or having a pregnant body, or we may say she has a body, 她有身子. So here, 有身子 means he's pregnant or 有身孕. Now, this word is extended to mean the body and or oneself. or lifetime. So here you can see the evolution of this word, of this character, shen, from very early oracle bone inscription to today's writing, regular writing. So shen can be used to refer to the body, the whole body, or part of the man body, or it can be used to refer to oneself. And also it can be used to refer to a whole life. Yeah. We have just mentioned the word 子 in the character 运. So after 10 months or 40 weeks pregnancy, that is the whole period of pregnancy, the baby is born. So now it is separated from the mother's body and becomes an independent individual, that is 子. Yeah, here 子. So the character 子 in the oracle bone inscription is like a baby in a swaddling. So this is the swaddling. So here you can see the head is big. And also this is another way of writing in oracle bone inscription, the hair, the head, and the legs. So since babies at this time are often wrapped in swaddles, so with the head and the hands exposed and the legs and the feet wrapped, so the outstretched hands and the big head above are clearly seen in this word. So this is the word we can see in the oracle bones inscription. Yeah, the same here. Yeah. So the original meaning of 子 is baby or son, and then it is extended to mean children as opposed to parents and other elders. So later, the meaning of 子 was further developed and it became a laudatory name for a person or for a man usually, who is virtuous, prestigious, and learned, like those philosophers you are quite familiar with. For example, Kongzi, that's Confucius, Mengzi, Mencius, Zhuangzi, here we use Zhuangzi, and Laozi. So these are great philosophers' thoughts. Their thoughts are well known in China and also around the world. So they are the person who are learned, prestigious, so we call them with the word, that's their family name, and then plus 子. Now, when the baby 子 is very small, of course, he cannot walk by himself. So he can only be in swaddles, held in the arms of an adult like this. So that way it is being protected. Here we comes the word 保. So 保 means protect. So the right side of the word 保 is actually a variant of 子. So you can see here, yeah, that's 子. Yeah, that's a person. So from the structure of the oracle bone inscription, the word 子 is sometimes on the left and sometimes on the right. So you can see here, yeah, the baby is on the right, and here the baby is on the left, and here is a person who protecting this baby. And sometimes maybe he was held like this, held in the arms, and sometimes he was carried on the back. So the glyph of 保, yeah, contains the meaning of guarding and protecting. So here the word 保 means protect. So the original meaning is protect a baby. But now we can protect the country, protect and yeah. Okay. All right. So here we are mentioned about 保. Yeah, so 保 from the structure of oracle bone inscription, that here you can see 子, that is baby, is sometimes on the left and sometimes on the right. And that is sometimes he was held in the arm and sometimes he was carried on the back. So the glyph of 保 contains the meaning of guarding and protecting. So that's the original meaning of protecting a baby. But now we can use this word protecting to mean protecting people, protecting the country. So that's how this word evolved. Now, the word closely related to 子, we mentioned that baby or son, is 字. Here is the word 字. So 字 in bronze inscription is a house. So this is a house and a child in it. So that indicates that a woman settled in her husband's house and gave birth to a child, which is the original meaning of 字. So here you can see in oracle bone inscription, we have a house and then we have a baby. That means with the baby and the mother gave birth to a baby, and then we have this original meaning of 字. That means give birth to a baby. So because childbirth happens after a woman gets married, so we use the term 代字 or 未字 or to refer to unengaged or unmarried woman. So 代字 means unable or not yet married. Yeah. So that's 代 or 未, that means not yet. So not yet married person, then we can say 代字. So here 字 means promise to wed, but here 代 means not yet. So that's the meaning of 字. Another meaning extended from the word original meaning of 字. So in ancient times, when population and the labor force determined the strength of tribes, well, in order to prevent stealing children and abducting women, so the Asians make marks on newborn babies or newly married women, which is also called 字. So how the meaning 字 from the original baby born to the meaning of character or the mark on newborn babies. So traditionally, after the child grew into an adult, he would be given a courtesy name. In Chinese, it is also called 字. So a courtesy name was an annotation or explanation to their name, which is called a 名. So giving a courtesy name was a part of the rite or part of the ceremony of adulthood. Well, in ancient times, parents called their minor children 名, just like today's nickname and a pet name. So 名 means nickname or pet name, well, which were used in daily life or on informal occasions. While the written name of children after their adulthood is 字, which we say, which means courtesy name. So courtesy name is like today's formal name or registered name, and it was used for various documents or on formal social occasions as honorific titles. So courtesy name was the symbol of some people with status. Both men and women could have their courtesy name only after adulthood. So courtesy name was for other people to use, for other people to call. So generally, friends or subordinators subordinators only call you courtesy name to show respects, to show their respect. So they don't use your name, they use your they don't call 名, but they call 字. So this custom gradually disappeared in the early 20th century. So nowadays, normally people don't have their courtesy name, only very few to show their respect for the tradition. Now, with 子, children or baby, we need to mention the word 母, which means mother. As without mother, there would be no son, no 子. So the oracle bone inscription of mother of Mu, here is Mu, is based on the character Nu, that's female. So you can see a woman sits on her knees on the ground, because in ancient time, China do not. In China, there was no chair or no stools for people to sit. So they would sit on the ground on this mat. So here a woman sits on her heels on the ground and breastfeeds her baby. So that's the character of mother. So you can see how this word formed from the original image. So here, Mu, mother, refers to mother and the female elder relatives in extension. Now here we can see the word Mu in oracle bone inscription, and then it changed to today's way of writing like this. Yeah, these two are this is the cursive writing, and this is the this is grass writing, and this is the cursive script. So we'll mention another word, yin, that's infant. So infant, you can see, if you have noticed that it has a female here in the lower part. So the original meaning is a woman's neck ornaments. Neck ornaments. That's the original meaning of in, but now we use this word to mean infant. So as a verb, it means to be tied around the neck, and then it is extended to refer to a newborn girl. So that's the word in. Here you can see a girl, here the female, kneeling on the ground, holding a string of shell in her hand to make a necklace. So this means that the girl dressed herself up with precious objects. As we know, in ancient times, people's activities were mainly in the Central Plains, which is far from the sea, that's in China. And shells were especially rare, so shells were used as currency. So earning a string of shell necklace has become the dream of every woman. So that's the original shape of the character yin. So at that time, medical conditions were very poor. Childbirth was a life and a death challenge. So a pregnant woman would put the most precious shell necklace on her chest, hoping to deliver safely. So the character yin means the most precious baby of every woman. So here you can see the character yin evolved from the very earliest oracle bone inscription to what we use today like this. So in the upper part is shells. Yeah, these are two shells. And then in the lower part is a female. So originally it means a female baby, but now it means infant. And so for a female baby, for a female girl, that's the precious baby of every woman. Now, the baby or infant has finally grown into a person, Ren. So the oracle bone inscription of the word Ren is a man standing on its side with the body bent slightly, which record the image and the outlook of the Chinese people of respecting for heaven and earth. So different from the image of a person standing on its side, the character big. The character here is the character Da, means big, great. It shows the image of a person standing facing front. So this person stretched out its hands, and spread his feet, his leg. So very imposing. So Asian people regard men as the widest of all nature. So big person, that's great. So here is the word character 人 means person, and here is the character 大 means big, great, from the original one to today's writing here. So you can see the change is not so much. Now, it is generally believed that 人 person and 大 big mainly refer to the male, while the female is represented by the Chinese character 女 female, so that's 女. So the character female or 女 is in the shape of a woman sitting on the heels on the ground we have just mentioned, that hands crossed in front of her chest. So that's her hands crossed. So in the oracle bone inscriptions, the character of person and big are written straight at the lower part here, while the word female here, 女, and other words refer to female like 母 mother or 妻 wife and 妾 concubine. The lower part is all bent. So here 母, 妻 and 妾. We'll see these words later. So white characters indicating females take that posture of kneeling down on the ground. So this is actually the posture for girls' hair pinning ceremony. In Chinese, we call that 祭礼, 祭礼. And this ceremony was held at, or this ritual or rite was held at the age of 15 or 16, or when the girl is allowed to marry. So that's the hair pinning ceremony. Now, her hair at this time should be pinned, indicating she's grown up and she's ready to marry, to get married. Well, for a man, for a boy, they have the capping ceremony. So this is the capping ceremony. In Chinese, we call that 冠礼. So to put the cap on the boy's head. So this capping ceremony was held at the age around 20 or sometimes 18 or 20. So like this capping ceremony, hair pinning ceremony is also a rite of adulthood for girls. So for girls, we have this 祭礼, and for boys, we have this 冠礼, indicating they are now adults. So at the hair pinning ceremony, the girl bends her knees and crosses her arms in front of her chest. So hair pinning ceremony symbolizes the difference between men and women. So from this, we can see that the Chinese character system also took into account the distinction between males and females at the beginning of the word creation. Now, after the rite of adulthood, girls are eligible for getting married. That is 嫁. 嫁. The meaning, the original meaning is a woman's marriage. So that's 嫁. So in the small seal script, this is a small seal script, 小篆. The left side of this word is a woman. So this is a woman. And the right side is the ancient character form of the word 家. 家 here means house or home, which means that getting married means starting a family. So that's what 家 means. A married woman becomes a man's spouse. It's called 妻. So this married woman now has become a wife, 妻. So the word 妻 in the oracle bone inscriptions has a long-haired woman on the left. So here is a long-haired woman on the left, and a hand, 手, here 手 written as like you written like as you. This is pronounced as you, but you actually here means 手. So on the right side is a hand, on the left side is a woman with long hair. So which is related to the ancient custom of marriage by capture. So the word qi has shown the custom of marriage by capture. So as in primitive society, custom about marriage was not created. An adult man captured women from other tribes for their wives. So not until the pre-Qin period was this patriarchal system steadily formed. And then people started to observe rites and ceremonies which give birth to the Chinese character, jia. So here, jia, we have mentioned, that means a woman sitting with two arms crossing in front, looking forward to building a new home with her husband. So here, word jia. In the last slide, we know that on the left side is a woman, on the right side is a house, a home. So jia means, build a new home with her husband. Now, for boys, after rite of adulthood, at the age of 18 or 20, they are allowed to get married, or they can marry. So that is the word 婚, that's marriage. So in oracle bone inscription, the original meaning of 婚 refers to a man marrying a woman. So we say 女, 男婚, 女嫁. For man, we use 婚. For woman, we use 嫁. So here, 婚 refers to a man marrying a woman. So holding a wedding banquet at dusk. And later, this word is used to refer to a legal spouse relationship. That's 婚姻. So we have the legal relationship. Now, in ancient times, there existed a custom of marriage by capture. We have mentioned just before. So here we can see the word of 婚 from very beginning of oracle bone inscription to the word we wrote today. So what does this 婚 mean? So as in ancient time, they have the marriage by capture custom. So as capturing a woman for wife normally happened at dusk when the light was dim. So people had to rely on their ears for any movement. So in the oracle bone inscription, they borrow the word 闻, meaning listening, for 婚, for marriage. So which look like a person listening attentively. So look at this character in oracle bone inscription. It's like a person listening attentively. This is ear, a big ear, listening carefully for any movement because he was capturing a woman for his wife. So later, it was written as 婚. 婚, the meaning is dusk. So here you can see the word dusk, 婚. A person, the sun. When the sun is setting and to the level that the person can reach that level, that means the sun is setting in the west, is setting. So you can see the light was not so bright, so it's a 婚. So that's a person, and the lower part is the sun. So that indicates it's dark. So originally, the word 婚 is used to refer to a marriage for a man, as the marriage was held at dusk. So in small seal script, woman, the left side is a woman. So this woman particle was added next to the word 婚. So today we still use the pronunciation of 婚 to refer to the marriage. So that's how the word marriage came into being. The word 婚 came into being. Now, the traditional Chinese taboo on marriage was not to marry a person with the same family name, which means that man and woman with the same family name were not allowed to intermarry. People believe, because at that time, that marriage to someone with the same family name would cause inbreeding to a large extent, which was related to genetics. So in ancient times, people with the same family names were regarded as blood relatives. So the marriage between them was regarded as the same as the intermarriage of close relatives, brothers and sisters. And of course, such marriage would affect the reproduction of the clan and the quality of the offspring. So that's why it was banned. It was forbidden to marry someone who share the same family name. Well, in ancient times, people with the same family name were most likely to belong to the same clan. But later generation, as people move to other areas, so the later generation with the same family name may not necessarily be related by blood. So therefore, this taboo gradually disappeared. Well, it's no longer taboo. People with the same family name can marry. So with the woman, 女, female, of course, there will be man, male. So the character male is formed from tian, which means field, and li, which means force. So this is the word nan. Nan means female. So the upper part is tian, means field. The lower part is li. Yeah, the literal meaning is the force. So here, li is the original word of li. Here is the original word of li. Li means plow. Yeah, when a man is working in the field, he used this plow to plow the field. Of course, he need to use a lot of power to do that. So these two characters combined, yeah, tian and the li combined to mean the word nan. So nan is the word formed from tian, field, and plow, and the li. Yeah. So that means a man, nan, is a person who engage in agriculture work in the field. Now, people are growing old, and the original meaning of old, lao, here lao, is old age and aging. So this is the original appearance of the Chinese character lao. Lao means old. So here you can see a man with gray hair holding a stick, and here the back, hunchback. So it represents an aged man using stick. Well, lao is also a respectful title. So we may use to refer to person, a senior person, with the word lao. So if a person's family name is Zhang, so we can call him Lao Zhang, yeah, to show respect. Well, in ancient time, it was thought that hair and beard should not be cut and shaved at will, because they were gifts from parents. So therefore, when a person is growing old, he has long hair and a long beard. So long hair and a long beard indicating an aged person. So people were regarded as seniors when they reached the age of 70, and he was highly respected. So that's in ancient China. Well, a person who reached age of 70, that's quite, well, we may say it's not very easy for them to reach that high, to reach that age, old age, because of the poor condition. So he was highly respected and hold esteem, high esteem. So in Shang and the Zhou dynasties, there were no chairs in the central plain area in China. So people normally sat on heels on the ground. So this is the way we sit, or this is the way we sat in ancient times. And this is the character Lao, the long hair. So it was very difficult for aged men to kneel down, because we know once they kneel down, they may get hurt. So as a result, a walking stick and a stool. So a walking stick and a stool is needed. So we have a walking stick and a stool granting ceremony. So in ancient China, we have this ceremony, a walking stick and a stool granting ceremony. And this ceremony was held in every autumn, reminding people of taking care of the aged, giving them walking sticks, stools, and a warm porridge. And to send walking sticks and stools to the aged is a very considerate and a respectful move. So today, in some area, people still hold this kind of walking stick and the stool granting ceremony to show respect to the seniors. So in small seal script, the walking stick of the aged is changed into a young man. So we can see the young man here. And so the aged are supported by the young man. So now for this word Lao, is here this is a part of Lao, yeah, the hair and the long hair and the beard and the back. And then now for Lao, it means care, caring the old. So this care now is accompanied by a person, a young man, instead of the cold stick. So Lao in Chinese language, it refers to the senior, and also it refers to the senior person who need to be taken care of. Yeah, a senior person or the aged who need to be taken care of, Lao. So that's why in China, Lao is always regarded as a person with experience, and they are respectful. So as we know, people, when they are growing old, they all want to have a long life. So that is the word longevity in Chinese, shou. So the word shou, the original meaning is old and to live long. That's the original meaning of the shou. So you can see this part is lao. Yeah, it's like lao. So shou, longevity. The extended meaning is the duration of life. So this word shou refers to also can be used to refer to birthdays of the middle-aged and elderly people. So we say shou xin, that means a person who has his birthday that day, usually refers to the middle-aged and elderly people. Now in bronze inscription, so that's bronze inscription, the upper part of shou is expressed in the image of Lao, an old man. So this you can see an old man with long hair and long beard and hunched back, while the lower part here is the crooked furrows, plowed. Here, these furrows like old man's wrinkles. So that's the, well, you can see like the furrows. Well, in small seal script, here you means a hand, representing hand. Well, here you is added. And another word is kou, means mouth, also can be seen at the lower left part. So here, mouth, kou, may mean a cup of wine or wine cup. So the combination of kou, mouth, and hand, shou, means raising a glass to offer wine to the old man and wishing him a long life. So when we have their birthday birthday party for the senior person, we usually wish him a long life. Now, the word soul reflects people's common desire for longevity, and the people endow the word soul with rich auspicious connotation. So you can see Chinese people wrote the character soul in many different ways. And the traditional Chinese concept has the so-called 5 blessings in Chinese 五福, in life, of which longevity ranks first. So for these 5 blessings in life, they are longevity, that's 寿, wealth, 富, honor, 贵, health, 康, and virtue, 德. So if you can have these 5 blessings, well, you will be the happiest person in the world. So of these 5 blessings, longevity ranks first. We mentioned longevity first. So the ancients believed that as long as one was alive, everything would be possible. So that is, life comes first. So which is also the basis of the ideals and happiness. So happiness and ideals is based on your life. So as longevity is people's common wish, so people make the word soul symbolic and artistic. So you can see here is a round-shaped soul and rectangular shaped soul, and also on the fan-shaped soul. So now nearly 300 different writing styles of soul have been created. Now we have just mentioned the rectangular shape of soul means 长寿, meaning living a long life. And the round shaped of soul called 元寿, meaning to die without disease. So we have just seen the previous slide, a round shaped soul, meaning die without disease. Well, that's the happy ending. Yeah, the happiest end of life. So there are also many patterns composed of different forms of character of soul, such as we have 100 longevity figure in Chinese 百寿图. Here we have a big character soul and composed of 100 small character of soul. So this is a big soul, and then all these are the small character of soul. And also we have 200 longevity figure, that is with 200 characters of soul written in this picture. Well, in the past, a 100 longevity figure was often given as the best gift to the senior when celebrating his birthday. And moreover, the ancients also engraved the word shou on the utensils, furniture, house, clothes, quilt used in daily life. So you can see here is, well, a very traditional Chinese suit or Chinese clothes for this is usually for those senior or for people who are having their birthday. So on this clothes, you can see all those words are shou, woven on this silver clothes. So the word soul has become an indispensable art in the eyes of Chinese people. Now, well, no matter how long you live or one lives, one day he will eventually face death. That is 死. So the original meaning of 死 is termination of life or loss of life. Well, in oracle bone inscription, the glyph of this character is that on one side is the remnant bone of the dead. And on the other side, here on the right side, is the, here, let's see, this picture is more clear. So here is the remnant bone of the dead. And on this side, the left side, is living, a person who is still alive, maybe his relative. So the living, kneeling and mourning, looking extremely sad. So this is the remnant, the bones, the remains. So in the small seal, the left side of the word dead is human bone. So that is the small seal. This left side is human bones, while the right side is human, a person, indicating that the body is separated, that the human body is separated from soul and the life ends. Well, that's the small seal. And this is the way we write today, 死. So this part, the left part, is often used to indicate something dead or something bad. We use this word, the left particle. That's the word we write today. Now, ancient Chinese people thought that one knew he was dead 7 days after death. So when he died, he knew that he was dead after 7 days. So in this way, the memorial service was held on 7-day basis. So from the time of death, it must be held every 7 days, which was called 坐期 in Chinese, or doing memorial service on every 7th day. And this service will last 49 days, not doing it every day, but every 7 days. So that is after doing 7 services. And this kind of memorial service will end until after 100 days. So then this memorial service will be held again on the 100th day after death. Then after the 3rd anniversary, there are roughly 3 memorial activities every year. Well, one is on the tomb sweeping day. Well, this is a way to express the mourning for the deceased, mourning for those people who died. And also it is a way to maintain family relations. So the deceased gradually become our ancestor. So this service may maintain these family relations. So in modern Chinese language, the word death not only means the end of life or the loss of life, but also has many extended meaning, such as stubborn, inactive, inflexible, inaccessible, or outdated, or useless, or extremely, or desperately, etc. So, however, no matter how the meaning changes, the word death is still a taboo word for Chinese people, because death is a kind of a pain for most people. Well, this can be seen from many Chinese customs and habits. For example, during Spring Festival, the word death should be avoided. So no matter whether you want to express the end of life or not, you cannot mention the word death on the first day of the new year, as it is considered to be a very unlucky sign. As we know, death can be used to mean the end of life. Well, it can also be used to mean outdated or useless. But whether it means outdated or useless or the end of life, you can use the word 死, death, on the New Year's Day. So that's an unlucky sign if you use that word, 死. So in order to avoid directly talking about the word 死, death, people use other words to explain death or replace the word death. Well, this, I think, is the same in English. We use some euphemism, like we use pass away to refer to a person who died. Now, we just mentioned that the deceased, the dead, and will become our ancestors. So today, April 20th, is 谷雨. We mentioned that the grain of millet or grain rain, or rain of millet. So it is also, today is also the International Chinese Language Day. And it is a day to commemorate and worship Chinese ancestor who is Changjie, So why do we need to worship ancestors then? So the original look of the word 祖, here 祖 means ancestor, is like a piece of meat with equal sign. This is equal sign. It means to equally divide meat. That's the original meaning of 祖. Yeah. Now we use 祖 means ancestor, but originally it means to divide meat equally. So in ancient China, it was difficult to obtain meat. So men of the same clan with the same family name gathered together to go hunting, live and share food. So in bronze inscription, a sacrificial altar was added, that is in bronze inscription. Yeah, bronze inscription, here is bronze inscription. This altar is added. And so the left part is altar for worship. We put our sacrificial things, offerings on this altar. So this altar was added to this word. So that's the word 祖. Now we use this word to mean ancestor. So Asians believe that men would turn into spirits after death to look after their offspring. So the person, when he passes away, his soul will become will become a spirit to look after offspring. So therefore, people began to worship ancestors at certain times. So they will kill livestock and equally share the meat in memory of their ancestors, of the deceased, of the dead. And so at the very beginning of today's lecture, we also see this picture. So this is something that they use to sacrifice livestock, to sacrifice, to worship their ancestor. So for this ceremony, for this service, we use that sacrifice to commemorate our ancestor. And also it is the time to maintain the family relationships, to warn the fellow man, to support each other and share will and woe. So that comes to the word 祖, ancestor. Now, we have talked about death just now. And so life is a cycle of birth and death. At the very beginning, we mentioned the word birth, the beginning of the life, beginning with the 始, that's the beginning of life. And then ending with the word 四, one is the 始, beginning of a baby, and then 四, passed away. So with death, there will be new life born. So we can say that from death springs new life. So that is the life course of the nature and of the people living in the nature. So exploring Chinese characters help us better understand the Chinese culture, Chinese people, and the concept of birth and death from Chinese perspectives. Now, spring is the season full of vitality, full of new life. That's the beginning of the year. So here I would like to express my best wish to all of you, and I wish you all a happy and prosperous life. Well, thank you. That's the end of the lecture.
Thank you, dear Professor Lu.